Hello, Sarah Felix. So I'm Kate with the Glasgow 24 bid team, and I'm interviewing Sarah today about crowning the cons. So hello, Sarah. Thank you for joining
Hi,
us.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so Sarah is a multimedia artist. She designed the logos for Glasgow, which we've got lots of exciting seasonal variations on and a bunch of our promotional artwork. And she's also the Queen of Tiaras.
That's right. I have one on just for you today.
Yes, so can you tell us a bit about how you became the Queen of Tiaras?
Yeah, sure. So when at the beginning of the pandemic, I stopped creating. I lost a lot of interest in doing projects. And so I saw somebody doing a Tiara Tuesday and I thought, you know what, I could make a tiara. I thought about buying them, but I was like, you know what, I want different ones. So I started out really simple, some more pipe cleaners and other pieces that I had. And I thought, okay, I just can use what's in my craft room. And it was perfect to get my creative juices flowing, I guess. So I started and I've done almost 100 different tiaras. Every week I do one and I put them on the Constellation Facebook page or group. And that's kind of where I started. Everybody started really liking them and they look forward to it. And yeah, it's kind of grown from there.
I have to say they look amazing because I looked some of them up, obviously, in preparation for this, and there's some fantastic ones out there. I mean, it sounds like you started with pipe cleaners and now you've got into making your own opals and fairy green looks and fire elements and so on.
Yeah, it started really cheap. It's gotten more expensive as I see really cool crystals or I find really neat focal pieces. Like this one's got a labradorite on it. And of course, the inspiration is drawn from the pieces that I find. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten way more intricate as the weeks have gone on. So
I mean, it looks amazing. It looks seriously cool. Have you got any tips for people on how to make a tiara or where to look for inspiration? Or
yeah, when I do workshops, which I've done online and as at conventions, I really start simple. And so, you can always have a really simple base and then add to it. And that's kind of how I teach the classes. I give them a couple pieces and then I give them a bunch of filigree to do whatever they want. And everybody always tends to take that and make their own piece. None of the pieces come out the same, which is it's just the easy way to start. Just a very basic, piece, and then go from there.
so you start with, as it were, the headband piece and then some things you can attach things to.
Yeah, just some branches and like something shiny to put in the center, and then a whole bunch of different filigree that can be put up or down or sideways or whatever way you want. Of course, you really want something in the center that's a nice big focal point, but on the sides it can be anything depending on what your style is.
So does the inspiration come first, or do the materials give you the inspiration? So do you go looking for something to fill a brief, or do you start with something and then think, what can I make out of this?
It depends on the tiara. So some people have commissioned me and they say, I want a purple tiara, or I want leaves, or I want this. And so sometimes I will find these really cool leaves or like this really cool centerpiece, and that will start it. Other times I'm like, all right, what can I find that's purple?
So I've seen you've done sort of Ice Queen ones, and then there's at least two with pens, aren't there? Pen nibs.
Yeah, I did a couple that were science fiction writer tiaras, and they have planets on them and pen nibs and things like that. Then on those, it was definitely the nibs that I saw, and I was like, I gotta do a tiara. I mean, I'm so into science fiction, it just makes the sense to do it.
Yeah, and I saw some gorgeous peacock ones as well. So I mean, is that you wanted to make peacocks and went looking for things in those colorways, or is it the other way around?
A couple of them, it was, I saw the leaves and they reminded me of peacock so much. There's been a couple though that I've made and then I'm like, wait a second, this is very peacock. Like I could tell in the back of my mind, I was thinking peacocks while I was putting the pieces together. So it's definitely, like I said, it just kind of, inspiration comes from everywhere, which is one of the greatest parts of this tiara making is I can use different ways and techniques that I've learned in the past, like using UV resin or wire techniques or anything like that. And then I can also find new and cool techniques that I can bring to the tiara itself. So.
Yeah, and actually, do you have any tips for people in terms of materials and so on? Things that work well or things that don't work well?
Yeah, I tend to use headbands for my tiara base and just like regular
just
craft
like a plain gold metal headband, is it?
Yeah, so this is just the headband right there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's attached to the bottom, and then I use craft wire. I tend to wire things on, and then if it needs it, I will use glue or like either a E6000 or something that's stronger that will keep it in place just for an extra protection. Typically on my tiaras, I don't finish the backs because when I make these little videos on YouTube that kind of show how I do it, and so you want to see how it kind of gets put together, but you know, it's also easily finished all the way through as well to do the backs and everything like that. So
brilliant. And so you're one of our 2 bid artists in the Glasgow 24 bid.
yes.
And I know that we've commissioned you 2 years now for Crowning the Cons. So could you explain what Crowning the Cons is first?
Yeah, Crowning of the Cons is a convention, well, a tiara made for the convention, whatever the World Con is that year. So last year it was Con Zealand, and this year, of course, is DisCon. And what we try and do, or what I try and do, is combine the 2 conventions together. So with New Zealand, it had the logo kind of interact in the main piece of the tiara, and then this year it was more about the colors and trying to combine Glasgow and DC in a way that made kind of sense. So we're trying to really promote both conventions with these pieces.
And highlight the links between them.
Yes, yeah.
So what have you designed this time for DisCon then?
Okay, this is this year's con.
Oh wow, yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and so what I was trying to do was kind of get more of a filigree golden color. Last year was a little bit less gold, but I found this thistle, and of course the thistle started this pattern right here. I couldn't resist it, and so I tied it in with the colors. Like I said, there's actually 3 stars on the top that represent the DisCon and DC flag. This background is like more of a reddish color, which is hard to see on the camera, but it's been painted red. And so it's kind of like the metallic gold showing through. And then of course for Glasgow, it's the thistle as well as the blues. The blues up here as well to tie it all together. So, so yeah, this one I really like it. I wasn't really expecting. It's not as normal tiara shape, but it's definitely got that leaf and thistle with this nice halo on the top, which really makes it interesting.
That's gorgeous, and I could see from behind that you have that. You know that one's one that's sort of it's got the it's finished on sorry
sorry.
Yeah, so and you've got all of these little jewels which are gorgeous, and that's for the color scheme, isn't it? And
these are actually earrings that I found in the craft store, which was a weird place to find earrings. But I really like the shape of them, so I took them apart. And then, of course, I had to continue that color in. So I had some crystals here that matched that color. So,
yeah, that's a really good example of sort of finding inspiration, isn't it?
Yeah, they were. I think they were kind of on clearance. Probably why anybody would buy earrings at a craft store is why they were on clearance. But I thought the blue, it's not exactly the Glasgow blue, but I thought the blue was so striking that I thought it would work really well on this one.
Yeah, and of course thistles are a big Scottish emblem, and
yes,
which is lovely. So yeah, so the actual tiara is available as a prize, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So there's to people who are supporting Glasgow, they kind of do, I guess, a raffle type thing. I know last year somebody won that tiara and we send it to them. So whoever wins gets this tiara sent to them as well.
And just to do the blurb bit, in order to enter the draw, all you have to do is to be a signed up supporter of the Glasgow bid during the draw period. There's nothing else that people have to do to enter.
Yes,
But it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very jealous of whoever wins it. So. Yeah, and
very easy to wear too. So
yeah, and this is something that we're going to continue doing in 22 and 23 before hopefully the Glasgow bid becomes a Glasgow convention in 24. Yes. So
yeah, I can't wait to do the Chicago one. That'll be fun too.
Okay, so where can people find your work if they're interested in seeing more of it?
So I'm on Instagram. My handle, I guess, is Silly Sarah Sue with SARA, no H in my name. Facebook, Twitter, they're all the same, Silly Sarah Sue. But the Instagram, if you ever wanted to see them, I post them every week there. I do a little video that I link to that's about 3 to 5 minutes on YouTube. And it kind of goes through my thought process of how I made them, which of course there's one that's also available for this tiara as well. I don't have a website that I sell my tiaras. I actually do commissions. So if you DM me or email me, I'm happy to make one that's similar to one I've already made or something completely different.
So people would just write in with an idea and you'll say if you can do that and what the approximate price would be.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And you said earlier as well that you run workshops online and in person. So I'm assuming people find those through your social media.
Yes. Yeah. And I will have one at DisCon as well.
It's amazing.
Friday. So I tend to every convention I go to, I tend to ask for one if I can get it.
Lots of very cool things. Lovely. Anything else that you wanted to draw to our attention or anything you want to show off about while you're here?
No, whoever wins this, I hope you guys you enjoy it because I really had fun making this one. It's kind of different in the style and I love this gold. It's just so bright and cheerful. So,
and there's something about, it's sort of a regal thing of having a tiara, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. The last convention I was at, there was 5 people wearing tiaras of mine, which is always a thrill for me. I love to see people wearing my art as well as the tiaras. So
yeah, well, it's amazing. I was getting inspired myself reading your website. So thank you very much. Good. And thank you for everything that you're doing for the bid.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much for the interview. Bye.
Bye.